I had followed him around the hospital, like on Saturday rounds, and I told him one time I wanted to be a doctor and I wanted to operate on something. And I was kind of kidding. I was really young, and I don't remember how much longer after, but Dad came home, sent over one of his friends with a rat for me to operate on, and it was already like pinned like this, and it had been anesthetized, and he had already cut it open for me so that I could practice suturing on
it. True to his form, he never told me what the right thing to do was. He never said that I should do this or I should do that. He just kind of said, well, make the best decision you can and go with it and just kind of figure it out. So it was, again, at that point, fairly typical. Although I think a lot of times also before, and I think he did this, I can't quite remember if he did this, but a lot of times I'd ask him a question, then he'd just throw it back at me like, well, what do you think you should do?
I think I was pretty aware that he was very dedicated to his work in a very meaningful kind of a way. It never occurred to me to do something that I didn't care about, because he cared so intensely about his work.
夏威廉医师，我们想请问您在外科里面这么多种，您怎么会选修那个时候整形外科呢？
这个因为我在医学院念书的时候，那时候我就有一个感觉，那么第一个我是喜欢做外科手术的，那么第二个呢就是那个时候觉得这个一般的外科手术比较怎么样？这比较 routine， 或者是 destructive， 就是做完手术以后，病人总是觉得很悲观的。那么整形外科的话比较 positive， 能够使人的比较快乐一点，比较高兴一点。
一个重建
的，所以我就对那个比较感兴趣。
所以这样子过来已经走了几十年了。在你所动的这1000多个手术里面，可不可以跟我们观众朋友谈谈，有哪几个您印象最为深刻的？
你这20多年，你想到很多手术，每个手术都是不同的。那可以说没有什么手术是很
类似的。对，
但是当然就是说，是你最满意的手术，就是有些手术这个病人的特别困难。那么比方说断肢再接，你假如手术不成功的话，这个病人就一辈子没有那个手，没有那功能。那么有的时候再加上很多时候技术方面也很困难。比方说，在这种情形之下，你能够把一个很困难、很没有希望的这个情形，把它改成一个成功的结果的话呢，你就会觉得比较满意，
也很有意义。
对。
He used to read us stories until he fell asleep, like
until he fell
asleep. It was supposed to be so that we could fall asleep, but he was so tired. I mean, this must have been like, I don't know what time, probably like 11 or 12 or something, and we'd be like, Dad, read us a story. And then he would start the story. We must have heard the beginning of the Swiss Family Robinson probably like 60 times. Like Vic was saying, he didn't have too much time, but the time he did have, he made it count. So, like one time I do remember he had just, the Phantom of the Opera had just come out as a musical. The original story is quite old, and we were listening to it, and Dad being Dad, of course, being the way he was, he didn't just listen to the musical, he also had gotten the book, and so we were reading the book and then listening to the musical at the same time, and it was really beautiful, and I just remember sitting in the living room. And it was just like the two of us, it was very nice.
Now, an amazing development for breast cancer survivors. It's a unique surgery that's helping them put their lives back together. That's when this man offered her an alternative.
What I'm going to do today is do some markings on the skin.
Dr. William Shaw is the chief of plastic surgery at the UCLA Medical Center. He pioneered an innovative and unique way to give women back their breasts.
We're going to take a part of this muscle and then this one artery and vein.
Dr. Shaw takes a section of fat and tissue from a woman's tummy, bottom, or thighs and reshapes it into breasts. The most remarkable part? Dr. Shaw transplants arteries and veins along with the tissue, then reconnects them in the chest. So women end up with soft, natural-looking breasts made from their own tissue. The operation takes more than 6 hours, and it's a success. A month later, Linda is fully recovered.
I feel very good about my body again. My breasts have been reconstructed with my own tissue.
For Linda Goring, it's a medical miracle.
I feel complete.